I am the Headless Headhunter. I'm a corporate recruiter here to review your resumes to get you ahead of your job search. So, the first resume we have up is a data analyst. They have doxed themselves, so I cannot scroll past this screen. So, that's all I can do for this one. This is what we got to look at, which is arguably the most important thing in your resume is the first half of the first page. People say like, oh, your resume needs to be 1 page, your resume needs to be 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages. It doesn't matter. The biggest thing is that we find what we need in the first half of the first page. After that, it can be long or short, does not matter. What we're going to be looking for in my revised keywords for data analyst is SQL, Excel with macros and pivot tables, the rest of MS Office, Tableau, Power BI, data visualization, AI ML is a benefit. That's really kind of more of a nice to have. Python, PySpark, or R, that was in a lot of jobs. And here's the one where it's not a individual keyword, but more how you did something, which is you are the subject matter expert. You are the person that I have to come to and be like, hey, I don't understand what the +1+1 means. Can you explain it? And you need to show that in your resume of how you were the subject matter expert, how you presented that data to both technical and non-technical stakeholders, and that you multitask. So those are the things that we would be looking for. At least in the United States, I am a US-based recruiter. Other markets outside the US, I do not have as much knowledge of, and the keywords can change. So, do we have this? Let's find out. Results driven. Oh my gosh, everybody does this. Don't do a summary. You don't need it. It really is not necessary unless you are changing industries. The reason is you can't just say you did something here. They want to see where you did it. They need to see the skills in here. So let's see if they actually have them in here, but I can safely ignore this. This should be replaced with your education, which I don't know if people at home can see, but it's past this. But again, I cannot scroll because they doxed themselves. Stop sending me resumes with your full contact information. This is for me to review them publicly. Do not put that there. It makes it harder for me to protect you. Please scrub that data before you send it to me. Okay. Enhanced ETL. ETL could be one with SEL. Power BI. I don't really. SQL. Yeah, okay. So here's why you should not bold everything. In this sentence, they bolded enhanced and built and launched and support and contributing. And during that, I missed SQL. I almost missed the word SQL, which is what I actually care about. Python, automated workflows. Okay. Gosh. Data set from SQL, compliance gaps, digitizing workflows. I mean, this is mostly mid, right? Like, I care that you had this here. I care that you had, see, I can barely find it, Power BI, but where's the Excel? Where is it? I don't know. That's a major component. Oh, here it is, all the way down here. Yeah, so your formatting is definitely hurting you. You need this formatting. You need this formatting. This is the best formatting. It will help you. Please do not bold anything in here. But even if you fix the formatting, we would be missing primarily how you are the subject matter expert. What you wrote was how you succeeded. And most of the time, that's really not what we're looking for is a brag. We're looking for how you did the thing rather than how you succeeded at doing the thing. The exception to that is sales and maybe some high-level manager positions, but for the most rest of us, I need to know that. How did you do it? Why did you do it? So, and yeah, so you only have like 50% of this, which is okay, but I need Excel, especially for a data analyst. That is huge. And I need to know that so let me break this down. Sorry, I'm like very tired at the time of recording this. I had a judo tournament yesterday and I am still very sore. But for subject matter experts, your job is to interpret the data. Your job is to present the data. The problem is the people you are presenting it to don't understand any of that. And that includes me. That includes the recruiter. That may include the stakeholders. You don't just get to say, here's the data of 13%, of 12%, of 2%, from 8%. You have to explain like, hey, here is the data, which means if you do X, then Y occurs. So this was built for an audience that would not understand what you did, nor will they understand why this is impressive. I assume this is maybe impressive, but it's not really, we're not looking to be impressed. Your resume is, as a rule, terrible at showing how good you are. It is only to show the minimum qualifications. So, right, and this formatting is not doing a favor. If you just deleted this, if you fixed the formatting to this, you'd probably get a lot more success rate. I don't even know what your success rate is because you didn't tell me. But I imagine you're getting some, but the bolding is making it hard to find what I need. So that's kind of repeating myself, so that's all we can do on this one. If anybody else needs more help, feel free to join me on my Twitch chat. That is where I live stream all this and I get the keywords at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to 2 PST. And I look forward to seeing you all there. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a software developer. I don't know what kind. They did not tell me. Also, if people can, this formatting may be off. Well, this is what the recruiter sees. So this is what they sent to me. This was in the PDF. So that is why I'm keeping it like this and making it insanely hard to read, is because this is what the recruiter may be seeing, and they could just reject it off the top. So please use 10.5 font, Arial 10.5, it is the best. It looks ugly, but we don't care about how pretty your resume is. It's all about what's inside. So they also said they have a 1 to 25 ratio, which I don't know is true because they also doxed themselves, so I don't think they fully read it. So they might not have read my instruction of that. So I'm going to go with the assumption that this is not a 1 to 25. But if we're looking for a software developer, what we're going to be looking for is what kind are you? In addition to what kind, so front end, back end, full, embedded, integrated, there's like a billion different kinds. We're also looking for SQL, Cloud, and API. Which, let's see. So this is, again, absolute nightmare to read. Please do not use this whatever format you're reading. And these okay, everything about this formatting is off. It needs to look like this. This is the guide. The guide is below. It just make it look like this. There's so much wrong with this formatting. So I'm just gonna. This should be 2 lines. Technical skills doesn't matter, although based on it, this might be a C++ developer. And then certs could not matter. Languages are important. Languages should be up here. That's actually really good. They do want to know that you know more languages. And then you are a C++ developer. Okay, good. So at least I know what you are. I don't have the keywords for those. Software, accuracy, 3D, enhanced. So yeah, So I feel like this is sort of what's popular now, but this makes it so much harder to read. Is you start with this weird like verb or whatever this is. I don't know what this would be called, and then you bold it. Don't do that. Just say created a hardware interface for X and Y. Are the rest of the bullet points good, even if I cannot identify the keywords? Party apps. Because actually, these are not terrible bullet points. Again. Don't make your resume this hard to read. Let's see. STL, model. Yeah, these are not bad sentences. So how you wrote these are not terrible. Assuming you are a software developer, which is what you said, I would need SQL and I would need Cloud and I would need some API. But in general, I like how you wrote some of these sentences that I can barely read because they're so small. 10.5 Arial. So, is there anything else I can even offer this? Because the formatting is so awful. Reduce errors, employment times. No, I mean, you just need the keywords of which, again, I don't know. I don't have the C++ keywords because I didn't know fully this was a C++. Because then it could also be sort of like embedded or technical or software engineer and test. And those would all have different keywords. But how you wrote it is okay. You just need to plug in the keywords to that and just fix the formatting. So this might actually be a 1 in 25. Again, formatting's only purpose is to make it easier to read. I would always rather have a terribly formatted resume than bad bullet points. And these bullet points are not terrible. They're not like, no, they're not bad. I don't think they're that bad. So let's go to the next resume. This is a software engineer. And what kind, you may ask? Well, I don't know. They said they could do front end or back end roles. Cool. That doesn't help. I need to know what your resume is structured as, because a front-end resume will fail to get jobs for back-end roles. A back-end resume will fail to get jobs for front-end roles. And if you want to go for full stack, the keywords are going to be different than both of those. So it does not help me to say you are open to front and back roles. You need to tailor your resume to the type of role that you are looking for. In fact, I think tailoring to the role is probably better than saying tailor to the job title. So you need to tailor to the role, not necessarily whatever this is, but so the only thing I know is that I'm going to need SQL Cloud and API. That is common across everything. And the other thing is I want to know what kind of software engineer you are. The last one, it was pretty obvious. It was C++. That is good. So ambitious software engineer. Okay. Python, JavaScript, React, Node, and Express. So yeah, this can be deleted. This can be deleted. None of these are helping you. Skills sections and summaries are largely irrelevant. At best, at worst, they are actively hurting you. So your education should be here instead. So unless your education is not related to the job role, if your education is not related to the job role, then you should put it at the bottom. So Dev Overflow, none of this should be bolded. Spearheaded the development of core features for a fintech startup delivering a minimum viable product from scratch, including web scrappers, dynamite UI components, and comprehensive test coverage. That is nothing of what I want. It is okay to describe what you do. I don't know what you do. What are the core features, right? You could have just said led the development of core features for a fintech startup, such as because I don't care about dynamic UI components for test coverage. Engineered and deployed scalable Python scripts. Good, that's your first one that I care about. Automating real-time web scrapping. Okay, but there's only Python. Python. Okay, so maybe you're a Python dev, but again, Python is used in both back-end Python and full stack. I'm aware they are full stack means back-end and front-end, but they have different keywords. I'm talking specifically about the keywords that are needed. Also, that did not work on my shirt at all. You cannot send a resume that is generalized. It will never work. It always gets rejected. And my dog almost knocked over my light. So that was why I had to turn. But yeah, there's nothing here I would want except for Python. But again, the difference is between, and I don't know if I can pull them up fast enough, but Python, a back-end Python dev, as an example, would want, at least in the United States, again, the different places have different keywords, would want this. Right? They would want Python, SQL, Docker, Kubernetes, Django, Cloud, any of its keywords, RESTful APIs, Agile, Git, and CI/CD. But as an example, if I wanted, say, a full stack that used that used Python, it would be different, and that I don't really care as much about Docker and Kubernetes and Django. What I instead want is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, along with Node and Angular and Next.js. So yes, there are similarities, obviously, between a full stack and a backend and a front end role, but what you need to focus your resume on is what's going to get you a job. So, also, I know this doesn't work because it's a 1 in 75 ratio application at best. So that is what they stated. They said 1 in 75. So you can bring this better because you're developed an automated catch system using extended gRPC. What is that? I don't know. I've been tech recruiting for 10 years. Yeah, I don't know it. I don't know how to code. And I hire people. That's the thing that I think a lot of people misunderstand is you don't need to know the industry to hire people. As a recruiter, it's extra credit. It's nice to know the industry. It's a benefit, but I have seen plenty of people that know their industry fail real bad at actually recruiting because they did not understand how to recruit. And I don't have anything here. I've been tech recruiting for a while, and I assume maybe because you have TypeScript, it's full stack. But the only things I see are Python and full stack, and in this entire section, because again, this doesn't count. I don't care that you list the skills. I care that you list them along with how and why you use them. That's why you can't just jam a resume full of keywords. It doesn't work. Okay, here you have some tailwinds. So yeah, Like, you actually have some of the stuff I'd be looking for. And I'm going to assume this is full stack, in which case I see some of it, but your formatting is hurting it. It's all the way at the bottom, and I don't have enough of it. So I can see why this is getting a 1 in 75. It has some of the stuff because I can see it towards the bottom. But if you put it all towards the top, if you put it in these sentences, in these bullet points, if you shrank this down and your education is... yeah, I think your education should be at the bottom based on this. So you'd have more success. Like, you could easily change this from 1 to 75 to about 1 to 30, 1 to 40. Just by fixing the formatting and adding like 3 keywords to the first bullet points or 2. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of an R&D engineer, specifically mechatronics, NPI, or whatever that is. I had to search for an R&D engineer ages ago, but it wasn't an R&D one, which is research and development. This person has an okay ratio. It is 1 to 50, although I will be honest, I don't know how good that is in an R&D engineer because I think that market is still kind of hot, but it's not the worst. Could be a lot worse. The keywords here, take them with a grain of salt, because not only have I not done this in a while, a lot of these were under different industries, and I tried to mash them together into the right one. I think I actually do need to add industry. So what we're going to be looking for is your degree. That is a requirement in a lot of them. The industry and the type of stuff you worked at. So as an example, aerospace, and in aerospace sector, you worked with engines. Then I want to know 3D SolidWorks modeling, 2D AutoCAD, Python SQL, PLC programming such as Mitsubishi, Siemens, Allen Bradley, blah blah blah, whatever those are, I cannot back off. And then PCB software such as C, C++, and structured text. So there also is going to be, based on your industry, probably a little bit more keywords, because if you're in aerospace versus medical devices, they're going to want slightly different things, such as like medical may want the ISO stuff compared to aerospace, which may want... I worked in aerospace, I should know this, I am blanking on what it is. So maybe like circuit design or something for the airplanes or that. So let's look at this. All right, skill sections don't really count. Yeah, this can be safely deleted. Also, I cannot scroll past this because, again, they dox themselves, and I do not like. Stop sending me your name and email. I don't need it, nor your phone number. I do not want to show that on my YouTube channel. I do not want to show anybody's name or email or phone number on my YouTube channel. Please scrub that information before you send it to me. So. This is okay, but again, there's a lot of stuff here that I don't think I need. And then LED, systems level integration of hardware and software subsystems. See, that is good because it says what you did. You did both the hardware and software. Embedded controls, algorithms of flag-loading ventilator, blah, 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 firmware prototype, process improvement. Oh gosh, this is a nightmare to read. Process of spontaneous algorithms using senior data, and then ISO standards. Good. ISO is depending on the type. I didn't put it here, but it could very well be a keyword depending on the type of industry. So ISO is good to put in. If you have done ISO, it's always good to have a sentence with all the ISO stuff. I think it's industry standard operation. I don't remember what it stands for, but they have a bunch of little numbers, and it's basically like processes of manufacturing and keeping them standard, and you pass tests and stuff with it. Someone in the comments can describe it way better than what I just did. So QC, real-time clock dongle, HPI. So yeah, there's like a couple of stuff here, and it's also, this is a tough market this is like a good market, so this should be getting more than 1 in 50. The problem is there's really like nothing here that I need for it. RTC could be robotics, SolidWorks. So yeah, you need basically this formatting. You need better formatting, and then stop bolding anything here, and you need slightly better keywords. I do like the fact that you led with hardware and software subsystems and embedded controls. Those can very well do it, along with ventilators, but I want it to be a little more clear, and then I'd like a little bit more keywords. But overall, like, it's not the worst because you still have it. It's just a nightmare to search for, and you don't have enough. And because your industry needs people so badly, they are willing to be like, okay, well, they don't have everything, but we need to interview them anyway, which is good for you. That's good for you. But if the industry ever crashes, then you're going to have some problems with this resume. So let's go to the next one. This is a resume review of a data scientist. So what we're going to be looking for in a data scientist is basically just this. Actually wasn't that difficult. There were a lot of bad job descriptions, but they were all pretty clear on what they wanted. I did forget Excel, but whatever, I can add that to the list in a second. So what they want is the degree, Python or R or I don't know if that was supposed to be cloud or not, but it was supposed to be cloud and cloud. So Python or R and cloud. That's I'm tired, y'all. Okay, so to redo this, we need a degree, we need either Python or R, and we need cloud. We need SQL, we need Agile, we need Git, we need Excel. I put Excel twice. We need PowerPoint, we need Tableau, we need SQL, we need TensorFlow, PyTorch, Skibidi-Learn, and LLMA AI or NLP. These are bonus points. I would say these are the bigger things that we're looking for. So this person has applied to 50 to 70 positions and got no response. After graduating last year, they had a contract role. They wanted to see if any advice for their resumes. If you could email or contact me when you do the review, that will be super helpful because I want to make sure I don't miss it. I am not really able to do that, unfortunately. That's not how the system works. I need a better system for doing it, but it's kind of just got to keep coming back to see. You can also ask me in Twitch chat and I can find it. So anyway, do they have it? I don't know, but I assume maybe since they got at least in a contracting position. All right. So this is good, especially because it was recent, graduated. That's fine. I don't need relevant courses. Also, this should be slightly lower. Maybe this just messed up when you sent it to me. Again, it should look like this. So above education should be where you're located, and then like the citizenship status if you are a U.S. citizen or green card holder in the U.S. If not, then you don't want to put that. And then this should not be bolded. It should be in the left and space. There should be a space between because it looks cleaner that way. And then you do not need the relevant courses. They can be safely deleted. Put this into one line. Data engineer. All right. So you said data scientist, right? Yes, you did say data scientist. All right. So I don't know why the company name is bolded, but you don't need to bold anything here. It should just be italicized. And again, this should not have the underline on it. That's the word, underline. Developed conference tables by profiling data sets and running complex SQL queries. Good. Integrate multiple tabs. Aligning data with business requirements. This is actually okay. I think you could probably fit in one or two more keywords, but I like this. Leveraged. I hate the word leveraged. I don't judge candidates for using it. I just personally do not like the word. Unless you're using it to negotiate. So, leveraged. GitHub Copilot is fine. We had GitHub. Wait, did we have Git for this? Yes, we did. So, Copilot automates reading the table for the DDLs, all big queries. Could be okay. Migrated large-scale data tableaus with Snowflake and Teradata to Google's BigQuery. I think BigQuery actually was one of the ones under there that I was not able to write down. It could be in Python. Good. Automate data, BigQuery, Snowflake, data accuracy, maintain documented for tables of data. So I think you could put maybe one or two keywords in there, but otherwise I do see mostly what I need, which is SQL, Git. It's possible they don't know that GitHub is the same as Git. Maybe GitHub isn't the same as Git. And the big data along with Python. So maybe you could fit in one or two, but actually this is pretty solid. Developed a dynamic R Shiny dashboard. Okay. Python visualization 1 billion users. Architected database schema KPIs. Built stream with Python Apache Airflow. Team status updates. These are pretty good bullet points. I will be honest with you. Like I said, I think you're missing a little bit of the keywords here. So we have Python, which is good because it's Python or R. I shouldn't. There we go. This is how it works. I don't know. Did I see cloud? Yeah, so I am missing cloud, but I have SQL. I am missing Agile. Maybe make that clear that that's Git. And Excel I'm missing, but I put everything twice. This shows where my brain is. So, but I do see some of the other stuff, but I also don't see PowerPoint and Tableau. So this is a case of you probably have enough and the market is kind of tougher to find data scientists and software engineers is why you're getting it. But so I need you to put in a little bit more keywords. Hopefully this was understandable. My brain is melting out of my ears right now. So, but yeah, you need to add a little bit more keywords. How you wrote these though are really good. This is actually how you want to write this stuff. So we have R, we have Python. I need cloud, I need agile, and I need Tableau, and then maybe a little bit of AI. It's a bonus. And beyond that, I think you're solid. So overall pretty good. I can understand why you're getting 1 in 50. I think truthfully you could probably make this with those changes a 1 in 20 to 1 in 25. So that's it for this episode. I hope everything made sense. The next episode will probably be a lot more coherent when I'm not this exhausted. And thank you all for watching and for subscribing and liking and commenting. If you need more help, you can join my Twitch chat at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video to make sure that you can get ahead of your job search.